came out to my mom when I was 11 or 10. She asked me, how do I know? I told her, how do you know you're straight? She was like, because I love men. I was like, well, I feel the same way.
When I found out, I was hurt. I didn't know how to accept it. It's okay for anybody else, but my son is my son.
She just didn't want to believe it. So she just brushed everything off. And so when I started going to school wearing makeup and stuff like that, my clothes was getting tighter.
It would be easier for me, if he lives up to my standards and just follow simple rules, and, we can get over this hurdle.
There's so many ways that we express in small and big and official and unofficial ways how we expect people to act.
Women have babies, guys go off to war. We had very distinct gender roles. You wear this, you wear that.
It's all a construct, the idea that people are supposed to behave in certain ways because of their gender. That's made up.
I've heard the term gender policing. Basically, it's when a person or a group of people decide that someone else's gender needs to come more in line with what the police are thinking. It's been going on forever, ever since there's been gender.
It used to be that so many gendered expectations were expressed in law. There were legal restrictions on what women could do, what women could wear, and a lot of unofficial ideas about what was ladylike and what wasn't. We've passed the point where many of these things are a matter of law, but they live on in our culture in ways that can be very destructive.
My friends and I went to this beauty supply store and we were just trying on wigs. She's like, oh my gosh, girl, you look like a diva. So we bought the wig. I went out like that at nighttime when my mother was at work, because I know she wasn't gonna let me go out like that.
Maybe it was stereotypes that I myself had, I don't know, but I was afraid for him on many levels.
A lot of times, parents, they worry that the child's gonna get hurt, that they're gonna be made fun of, and so they try to intervene behaviorally and change the child or help them to see ways of fitting in out of love.
I didn't want to get a phone call, well, your son, was beat up, he's dead, the way he wears his hair, the way he carries himself, it definitely draws attention on him.
One Friday I was considering wearing this shirt, these jeans, and maybe these boots. When I started going to school wearing makeup and stuff like that, of course thoughts was going through my head, like what would people think, what would they say, how would they act?
There are many moments in any given day where an individual might be reminded that they're doing something wrong in terms of their gender.
I mean, I think people do it subconsciously. I think if a woman is wearing a hyper-masculine outfit or a man is wearing a hyper-feminine outfit, I think you'll get looks.
It might be when you try to walk into a public restroom. It might be waiting for a bus or on a subway platform when someone chooses to say something to you. It might be for a student, it might be in the lunchroom or in the hallway or from the person sitting at the desk next to you.
Of course, there was those boys, the older boys, like you're an effing faggot and stuff like that. I tried to brush it off, but I couldn't because they were like so aggressive and they always wanted to fight. One time a student came in the classroom, he looked at me with a nasty look on his face. He just kept going on saying that I need more on my face, that he was gonna put it there. One time we went to art and he said that he was gonna slash my throat and knock my brains out, something like that he said to me. And I told the teacher told me to write a statement. The next week, he told everybody that he was going to F me up. When we went out to lunch, he came up to me. The whole school formed a circle around us. And people were pushing him into me until a student really pushed him, and I guess he felt scared because I looked like I was gonna hit him. So as soon as he punched me in the chest, I defended myself. I punched him 3 times in the face. I knocked him unconscious.
So when the principal called me to tell me that I had to pick up my son at the 71st precinct because he had been arrested, it came as a shock to me. I didn't know that he was being bullied. I didn't know that he was being threatened.
They basically told my mother I cannot come back to school for about a month. I was suspended.
I was very angry because of how my son was treated. He was treated as the criminal. My son is who he is. He presents himself a certain way, and just because it's not what they feel or how he should behave, it becomes an issue. Every little thing that's done is my son's fault. He just had the presence of mind and the guts to finally stand up for himself.
The greatest pressure on some schools to police gender with their own policies is social prejudice. The key is to make sure that adults in a school are responding out of compassion and care rather than responding out of a desire to police the behavior themselves.
After my time was over, I went back to the school. Everything was different. The teachers wouldn't sit down and help me. I wasn't able to go outside with the other kids. There was nothing at that school for me anymore.
In some communities, a boy coming to school in a dress will cause a tremendous sensation. Now, a school has a choice. Are they going to prohibit that because it's going to be disruptive, we don't want to deal with it, we're just going to prohibit it altogether? Or are they going to work on getting to a place where every student can be who they are and learning proceeds undisrupted?
I kind of looked at life differently. I knew that there was one person in this world that really cared about me, which was my mom, and, nothing can really change that.
We let so many of culture's rules shape us, and kids are trying to negotiate not only their sexuality, race, their socioeconomic class, and now they're supposed to negotiate their gender, which is supposed to be given. Easy peasy. You're a man or a woman, you're a boy or a girl. And now it's not that way anymore.
If you're not dressing on gender or not acting like your gender, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're gay or lesbian or questioning even. It might just mean that that's how you want to express yourself. And that's important for people to know, and it's fantastic. It's not, it's all about being who you are. It's okay to be different. That's really the moral of the story.
I know I've had it hard with my son, but there's just one thing that I know, and it's just that I love him.